Hello everyone, my name is Lucas Wainwright MYP and I'm really pleased to share my journey completing the Pope John Paul II Award. The John Paul II Award is a faith-based recognition programme for young people which encourages us to take an active role in both our parish and community. It challenges us to put our faith into action, to serve others, and to reflect on how we live out Christian values in our everyday lives. For me, taking part has been a really meaningful experience. It's given me time to think about how my faith connects to the volunteering I've been doing for several years, whether that's supporting children in our parish, helping in school, or working to make a difference through youth leadership. I think the award is so valuable for young people today because it shows that faith isn't just about what happens in church. It's about how we live our lives, how we treat people, and how we can help our communities to grow stronger. Personally, it's helped me to build confidence, reflect on my values, and realise how the small things we do, even a simple act of kindness or service, can have a lasting impact. Before I began the John Paul II Award, I was already involved in lots of different community and volunteering activities, things that really reflected my values of helping others and giving something back. I've always believed that challenges can be turned into strengths, and when I was 3, I lost my left foot in an accident. It was difficult at first, but it shaped who I am today. It taught me resilience, gratitude, and the importance of using our experiences to support others. That's a lesson that continues to guide me through everything I do. Over the past few years, I've become increasingly involved in community work. As a young leader at Stompton Grounds Forest School, I've helped children and young people connect with nature and each other, encouraging inclusion and teamwork. I've also taken part in events like the Newcastle Sleep Out for the SVP and climbed the O2 Arena for Limb Power, raising funds for important causes that make a real difference. In recognition of this voluntary work, I was honoured to receive an Angel Award from MP Liz Trist, which really reminded me how rewarding service to others can be. In February 2024, I was elected as the member of the UK Youth Parliament for County Durham, representing over 46,000 young people aged 11 to 19, with a record turnout of nearly 3,000 votes. More recently, I was chosen as one of Dame Rachel de Souza's 17 youth ambassadors for the Children's Commission for England, an opportunity that allows me to bring young people's voices to national discussions. Alongside this, I've been recommissioned in the Youth SVP at school, continuing our mission of faith in action through kindness and community service. That work constantly reminds me of the importance of serving others, and I know that even after I leave school, I want to keep finding ways to do just that. These experiences all came together when I began the John Paul II Award. It felt like the perfect way to reflect on my faith, celebrate service, and show how even small acts of help can make a big difference in people's lives. My faith journey has been one of rediscovery, finding my way back to God through service, community, and reflection. I was baptised into the Catholic Church by Father Canon Bob Spence at All Saints in Lanchester, which has always been a special place for my family. My mum, who's from the northeast, brought me to church when I was younger, and for a while I was even an altar boy. I made my first Holy Communion alongside my school, and that was a really proud moment. But afterwards, things changed. My mum slowly grew more distant from the church, and for a long time I didn't attend Mass regularly. My dad, who's from Liverpool, was raised Protestant, but is really more of an atheist at heart. My aunties also drifted away from the church. They'd been made to attend every week when they were younger, and as they got older, they began to question some of the church's traditions, especially its lack of women in leadership roles such as deacons or priests. While they still valued their faith, they disagreed with parts of how the church operated and wanted to find their own path. The person who really helped me stay connected was my grandma, Maureen, and her sister. They have always been devout Catholics. When I stayed at my grandparents' house, my gran would tuck me into bed, and together we'd say a prayer before sleeping. We'd always finish with, "Good night, God bless," and it's something we still say to each other to this day. It's a small phrase, but it carries a lot of love and faith behind it. My turning point came in September 2022 when I joined the youth SVP group at school, led by Miss Eddie. It was through this group that I really found my way back to faith, not through rules or rituals, but through action. Helping others made me realise that living out the messages of the Bible is one of the most powerful ways to experience God. I took part in sleep outs, fundraisers and cake sales, all aimed at supporting people in need. Through that work, I began to feel closer to my faith and more aware of God's presence in my everyday life. In 2022, I made the decision to be confirmed into the Catholic faith, which I accepted with warmth and pride. I chose the name George after St. George, the patron saint of England, a reflection of my patriotism at the time. That same year, I had been fortunate enough to attend the Platinum Jubilee party at the Palace in London, and later travelled to Edinburgh to see Her late Majesty the Queen lying in state. In 2023, I also travelled to London for the King's coronation. These experiences deepened my sense of identity, both as a Catholic and as a young person proud of his country's history and traditions. After my confirmation, I returned to All Saints and also occasionally began attending St. Teresa's Church, which is my gran's lifelong parish, as well as Ushaw College on some Fridays. I have a real fondness for Ushaw, not only because of its beauty and peace, but because it's where Father Spence, who baptised me all those years ago, now says Mass following his retirement. My journey of faith has continued to grow since then. I joined a Christian youth group called Kids of God, based in the Methodist Church in Lancaster, where I've had the opportunity to take part in cell learning sessions with other young people, many of them from St. Bede's too. I've also been to the Free Generate event in Birmingham twice, which brings young people together from across the country to worship, share experiences and learn more about God. Next year, when I turn 18, I'll be returning as a leader, which I'm really excited about. Within the Catholic community, I've also been part of the youth ministry team, taking part in events like the Source and the Summer Festival in 2023. Through the John Paul II Award, I've also volunteered as a youth helper for the Children's Liturgy and joined the Lourdes Pilgrimage in the summer. Each of these experiences, from volunteering to prayer and from leadership to reflection, has helped me to strengthen my relationship with God. They've reminded me that faith isn't just about what we say in church, but how we live every day. Through this award, I've learnt that small act of kindness, patience, and love can truly reflect the teachings of Christ, and that's something I'll carry with me always. As part of the Gold Award, I completed a total of 20 hours of parish involvement through a range of activities that have helped me to support my local faith community, develop new skills, and live out the values of service and compassion. A large part of my time, 8 hours, was spent helping with the children's liturgy at my parish. Each week I assisted in preparing and delivering activities that help younger children understand the gospel in a fun and engaging way. I enjoyed helping them to reflect on what the readings meant in their own lives, encouraging them to think about kindness, respect and faith. Supporting the development of young people in their religion is something I care deeply about, and it's also connected to my future aspirations. I hope to become a primary teacher or work in another role that allows me to dedicate my time on this planet to helping young people develop, grow and enjoy themselves. The experience gave me a great insight into how to communicate with children, guide them, and make learning about faith meaningful. In addition to this, I spent 2 hours helping with coffee mornings organised by the Lanchester branch of the St Vincent de Paul SVP Society. These events brought together members of the parish, especially older people, providing a space for friendship and community. I helped to set up tables, serve refreshments, and talk with parishioners. It reminded me of the importance of small acts of service in building a caring and connected community. I also took part in the Learning from Auschwitz project, which I recorded as a weekend activity. This was a deeply moving and educational experience. As part of the project, I took part in seminars with the Holocaust Education Trust, before visiting the site of Auschwitz-Birkenau in Poland with Mrs. Johnson on the 12th of November 2024. Afterwards, I spent around 16 hours putting together a reflective presentation about the visit, which I later delivered in school and made available to the wider community through YouTube. The project taught me about the importance of remembrance, tolerance, and standing up to prejudice, messages that strongly connect with Catholic social teaching and the idea of promoting equality for all. Finally, I joined the Hexham Newcastle pilgrimage to Lourdes in 2025, which I recorded as a week activity worth 6 hours. This pilgrimage was a chance to take my faith beyond the parish and be part of a wider diocesan community. During the trip, I supported pilgrims, took part in Mass and reflection, and helped to make the experience meaningful for others. Lourdes showed me the power of shared faith, service, and compassion. It was truly inspiring to see how other people came together in prayer and friendship. As part of my Gold Award, I completed 20 hours of social awareness activities, including 9 hours with the Youth SVP group at school, 7 hours through my work as a member of the UK Youth Parliament, and 4 hours as one of the Children's Commissioner's Youth Ambassadors. Of course, this is just how it has been recorded for the award, but in reality, I've contributed many more hours overall. I've had to carefully pick and choose which experiences to share with you today. One of the main aspects of this work has been through my role as MYP for County Durham, a position to which I was elected in 2024 to represent 46,270 young people aged 11 to 19, with a record turnout of 3,000 voters in February. In this role, I've actively listened to young people across the county, gathered their views and bringing them to national debates. I've attended consultation meetings with Durham youth councillors, helping to discuss key topics including votes at 16, free public transport, raising the national minimum wage for under 22s, political literacy, and access to free period products. I've also delivered speeches in the Youth Parliament House of Commons sitting, which represents the priorities and concerns of local young people and ensuring their voices are heard at a national level. This work has taught me the importance of advocacy, communication, and the responsibility that comes with leadership. Alongside my MYP work, I'm also one of 17 youth ambassadors to the Children's Commissioner for England, Dame Rachel de Souza. In this capacity, I've been part of panels and consultations on national issues affecting children and young people, such as the NHS 10-year plan, neurodivergent support, and digital inclusion. I've contributed insights based on my lived experiences as a child amputee, highlighting challenges around access to specialised prosthetics, appointment delays, and the impacts of waiting times on health and well-being. I also participated in the Festival of Childhood at the Young V&A in London, celebrating young people's voices and contributing to workshops on democracy, youth engagement, and creative confidence. These experiences have reinforced my belief in the importance of representing children and young people to help shape policies that affect their lives. Within my school, I've also been an active member of the Youth SVP group, participating in initiatives to support vulnerable people in our community. I've helped create Christmas cards for housebound parishioners, contributed to fundraising events such as sleep outs and cake sales, and supported reflective sessions on charity and service. This work has allowed me to see firsthand the impact that small acts of kindness can have, while also developing my organisational, teamwork and communication skills. Most recently, I was appointed as team leader of the Acutis team in the school chaplaincy, which focuses on IT and communications. In this role, I have guided younger members of our team, showing them how to use tools like Canva and PowerPoint to produce newsletters, posters and presentations. I have led tasks and supported my team members to develop their digital skills, creativity and confidence. This leadership role has taught me the importance of mentorship, patience, and encouraging others to achieve their full potential, while also ensuring that projects run smoothly and safely. Through these roles, my social awareness work has expanded far beyond my local parish. I have been able to advocate for young people, support vulnerable members of our community, lead and mentor others, and contribute to national discussions on children's rights and well-being. These experiences have strengthened my skills in leadership, teamwork, empathy, and public speaking, and have shown me the real-world impact of serving others. After completing my hours for the Pope John Paul II Award, there will be a recognition ceremony at the Hilton Hotel in Newcastle, where all participants will be formally acknowledged for their dedication, service, and achievements. I am very excited to attend, not only as it will be a moment of personal pride, but also as a celebration of the collective effort of all young people who have contributed to their communities. This milestone also feels symbolic for me personally, having spent the past years serving as a member of the UK Youth Parliament, a youth ambassador to the Children's Commissioner for England, and as a leader in my school community. I now feel ready to take the next step in my journey. As I prepare to leave school, I hope to continue giving back in meaningful ways, whether that's through working with a charity, joining an NGO, or taking part in other opportunities that allow me to support other young people and the wider community. The award has shown me the importance of combining faith, service, and social awareness to make a tangible difference. It has reinforced my belief that young people have a vital role to play in shaping their communities, and it has inspired me to continue dedicating my time and energy to helping others grow, learn and thrive. This sense of purpose, alongside the skills and experiences I have gained, gives me confidence and motivation as I look forward to the next chapter of my life.